Hello my bookworms, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney and today's video will be all the books that I read in the month of September, better known as my September wrap-up. So hey, hi, welcome back. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. I hope your October is already underway with all of the great fall vibes and you are enjoying your spooky season. And first and foremost, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is Book of the Month. Can you believe it? And if you happen not to know, Book of the Month is a super popular and fast-growing online book service for readers like you and I. Their mission is to support new, emerging, and diverse authors to help readers discover new books that they will love. Every single month, the team over at Book of the Month vets hundreds of new titles and gives readers their choice of a curated selection of new and early release titles. So you can spend more time reading and less time researching. This is really great for lazy readers just like myself. Or for readers also like myself who just don't have time for anything. Book of the Month is absolutely risk-free. You can skip any time and you will not be charged. Book of the Month does only ship to US shipping addresses, but they have the absolute best price for the highest quality hardcover book for only $9.99 using the code BOO. My link is down in the description if you want to try your first month for $9.99. And you could always add on extra books for a very small cost, because we all know that I do that every month. Book of the Month did send me all 5 of their picks for this month of October, but I do think that if I didn't get all of them, my first choice would have been The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. This book's tagline is "Never mix vodka with witchcraft." 9 years ago, Vivian Jones nursed her broken heart like any young witch would. Vodka, weepy music, bubble baths, and a curse on the horrible boyfriend. With one calamity after another striking Rees, Vivi realizes her silly little ex-hex may not have been so harmless after all. Suddenly, Graves Glen is under attack from the murderous wind-up toys, a pissed-off ghost, and a talking cat with some interesting things to say. Vivi and Rees have to ignore their off-the-charts chemistry to work together to save the town and find a way to break the breakup curse before it's too late. So this sounds like a lovers to enemies to lovers or something along those lines with a twist of obvious witchcraft, which is perfect for October. And then very quickly, I want to go over the other 4 books that were options for this month in October. The first one being Everything We Didn't Say by Nicole Bart. This book is a race-to-the-finish family drama following a mother who must confront the dark summer that changed her life forever in order to reclaim the daughter she left behind. The next one is The Perishing by Natasha Dion, and this is an early release that will come out on November 2nd. The story that we follow in this one is about a black immortal in 1930s Los Angeles who must recover the memory of her past in order to save the world. And R.O. Kwon and Jamie Ford have said that it is remarkably strange and richly inventive. The Perishing will keep you up all night and haunt you long afterward. It is a lush, genre-smashing philosophical experience of a novel that blew my mind, which I think it sounds absolutely fantastic. I love the cover. I think it's stunning. The next book on October's list was Harlem Shuffle by Colson Whitehead, and this book has a gloriously entertaining novel of heists, shakedowns, and rip-offs set in Harlem in the 1960s. It is a family saga masquerading as a crime novel, a hilarious morality play, a social novel about race and power, and ultimately a love letter to Harlem. And the last choice that was an option for October is The Lincoln Highway by Amor Towles. This is the same author that wrote A Gentleman in Moscow, and this book is spanning just 10 days from multiple points of view. In June 1954, 18-year-old Emmett Watson is driven home to Nebraska by the warden of the juvenile work farm where he has just served 15 months for involuntary manslaughter. His mother long gone, his father recently deceased, and the family farm foreclosed by the bank. Emmett's intention is to pick up his 8-year-old brother Billy and head to California where they can start their lives anew. Together, they have hatched an altogether different plan for Emmett's future, one that will take them all on the fateful journey in the opposite direction, to the city of New York. Book of the Month also sent me 2 add-ons this month, which I am so excited about. The first one is The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman. In this story, we follow the Owens family, who has been cursed in love for more than 300 years, but all of that is about to change. Not only have they been cursed, but they have also been gifted unusual powers. The novel begins in the library, the best place for a story to be conjured. And this story celebrates mothers, daughters, sisters, and brothers, and anyone who has ever been in love. And the last book that Book of the Month sent me is Apples Never Fall by Liane Moriarty. And the synopsis of this one is, if your mother was missing, would you tell the police, even if the most obvious suspect was your father? This is the dilemma facing the 4 grown Delaney siblings. 2 of the Delaney children think their father is innocent and 2 are not so sure. But as 2 sides square off against each other in perhaps their biggest match ever, all of the Delaneys will start to re-examine their shared family history in a very new light. So once again, thank you so much to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. My code is BOO down below in the description, as well as the link so you can check it out and use that code to get you your first book for $9.99. And then let's get into the video, shall we? Okay, so I read quite a few books actually in the month of September, and then I did DNF a couple too, so let's chat about it. The first one we'll talk about is one that I just finished a couple days ago, and that is On a Sunbeam by Tillie Walden. This is a stunning graphic novel. The colors in here are to die for. The art style is absolutely stunning. And the book is just, it feels good, you know? It's a great paperback, you know what I'm saying? This book had it all. It had a space opera mixed with amazing LGBTQ plus representation. Our main characters were relatable, funny, vibey, powerful, strong, you know, all of the things. I loved it so much. And I didn't even mention it's mixed in with a slow burn romance. What more could you want? I ended up giving it a 4.5 out of 5, and I think that it's underhyped. The next book that I read and absolutely loved was All's Well by Mona Awad. If you don't know, I'm trash for Mona Awad. I think that her writing is absolutely spectacular. I wasn't sure how much I was gonna love this one because I am not a big theater buff, you know what I'm saying? So I was hoping that that wasn't going to, you know, hurt my chances of enjoying the book, and it did not. Let me tell you, it did not. I was so enthralled by this story. Our main character in this novel is struggling with chronic pain. Even though I personally don't have chronic pain, nor do I think that I can truly relate to our main character, but I think that I could say that the way that it's written seems unbelievably accurate and really important, honestly. I think that this book is absolutely fantastic. The atmosphere that Mona Awad is able to create within her stories is unfounded. It is second to none. She's an incredible writer, and I am trash for her. I will pick up anything that she writes. 5 out of 5. The next book that I read is Saga Volume 2 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is obviously the second installment of the Saga series. I was supposed to read the third one as well, but you know, life gets in the way and I haven't had time to pick it up, unfortunately. But I read the second one and I loved it. You know, the first one was a 5 out of 5. I'm pretty sure that I gave this maybe a 4.5 out of 5. And it's incredible. I love our main characters, how they're on different sides of the war, but they fell in love, had a child, and they're really just trying to survive. Not only the world and the war, but also all of the assassins that are trying to kill them. So it is a ride. It is beautiful. Adore the story, and the artwork is just beautiful as well. The next book that I tried to read in the month of September is one that I'm not really going to talk about too much because it's part of a secret reading vlog and I gotta keep some suspense, you know what I'm saying? So the book in question is Where'd You Go Bernadette by Maria Semple, and hopefully this reading vlog will come out in this next month. We will talk about this one later in that vlog. And I guess that's it. The next book that I read, and actually really liked, I was not expecting this at all, because I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about this book, and it is The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I actually loved it. I don't know if maybe like my expectations were just so low going into it, and then I actually had a really good time, or what, but I had a really good time reading it, and I actually gave it, I think, a 4 or a 4.5 out of 5. I thought that the story itself was really enticing. I was very intrigued to see where it was going. The narrator of it was really good. And I really did like our main character. I really vibed with her. Honestly, the only thing that docked it for me was just there was a little bit of repetitive writing. Maybe if you've read it, you know what I mean, that it was just a little bit repetitive sometimes. But I also was just like enjoying my time reading it, which felt really nice. So I gave it a 4 or 4.5 out of 5. The next book that I tried to read that I actually did not finish, not because it's a bad book, but it was The Only Good Indians by Stephen Graham Jones. I think that this book really is fantastic. But I did only get like a third of the way through. It's really just like where my mindset is right now in my personal life. It just wasn't something that I wanted to read at the moment that I was reading it. I think that it definitely has the potential to be a very spooky book, which I think that obviously it is. But the type of horror that it is like animal bodies and like disfigurement, and it's just like kind of gory, you know? And it just wasn't helping my mindset, you know? I'm in night shift right now. It's very difficult, hence all the candles, because I have to film at night now. And it just like wasn't helping my mood. I'm trying to be uplifting. I'm trying to, you know, have a good attitude for this little bit more of night shift that I have to do. So it just was kind of bringing me down, so I put it down. I wouldn't be surprised if I finish it in the future, but it was a very soft DNF for right now. Now the next one, I DNF'd because I didn't like it. And I promise you I'm more upset than you are. It is She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This is the most stunning book that I own, and I was expecting to love it, and I just didn't. I got a little over halfway into the book. I guess I can take that out now because I'm not gonna finish it. But unfortunately, I just wasn't enjoying it. I kept finding myself veering off, like while reading it, my mind started thinking about other things because I was listening to it while reading it. You know, I was giving myself the best possible situation. And even that just wasn't grasping me. I kept subconsciously comparing it to the Poppy War and then getting upset that I wasn't reading the Poppy War because I adore that series. That trilogy is so absolutely fantastic. And I know it's not really fair, you know, to compare books to other similar plot lines of books, but I couldn't help myself. I just kept wishing that I was reading the Poppy War instead, and it was just kind of ruining the vibe for me. The writing was also not my fave. It wasn't bad by any means, but I wasn't in the story. I wasn't very concerned, and I didn't really care about our main characters, unfortunately. So I'm sorry. The next book I read, which is underneath my candle right here, and I don't really want to pick it up, is The Priory of the Orange Tree. Would you believe it? I read The Priory of the Orange Tree. I have a dedicated vlog to it. I will put it down below in the description, but I ended up giving it a 5 out of 5. I really, really loved Priory of the Orange Tree. I love Samantha Shannon's writing. I think that she is incredible, and the way that she wrote the book really, really, really made it easy for me to follow. And I think that this is my first like chunker, standalone high fantasy that I've read, and I was just blown away by how easy it was to follow. But I was really kind of proud of myself for following so well, and I just loved it. I thought that it was fantastic. All the dragons, all of our main characters, they were very, very diverse. They were very interesting, and I was loving every single storyline that we were following. There was never a time where I was like, man, no, I want to go back to this storyline, because every single new chapter I was like, oh yeah, like what was happening with this one? And I was just like immediately always intrigued. So, you know, it was a 5 out of 5 for me. I thought it was great. And then the last one is the Final Empire, the first book of the Mistborn trilogy. And I am actually currently reading it. I have a little less than halfway to go. It is October 2nd right now. So since I started it way before October, I still count it as a book, you know, started or read, you know, in September for my TBR game. But I will probably finish that book tonight because I have to stay up all night because I work the next 3 nights. But that being said, I can give you my thoughts right now is that it's going to be a 4 or a 5 out of 5. I think that Brandon Sanderson is incredible. This is my first book that I've read by him, and I am very pleasantly surprised. It's not that I thought that he would be a bad writer, but I just always am a little bit cautious with male fantasy writers. Could just be me, but I haven't really loved how certain male fantasy writers write women. But I really don't have any qualms with how Brandy Sandy is writing his female characters, and I'm loving it. I think that the story is super original, very interesting set of magic system. Did that make sense? A very interesting set of magic system that he has created. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing where the last half of the book is going. I think that it's going to start popping off here pretty soon because things are really starting to pick up. Told Caleb to read it as well. So I think that how I think about the Mistborn trilogy, or at least this first book, is it's giving me the vibes of the Scythe trilogy mixed with Red Rising. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. Please agree with me because I think that I'm kind of right. Like, I know it's not like the exact things in both of those series together, but like there are some aspects in both of those series that like I'm seeing and vibing with in Mistborn. So And as for all of the readathons that happened last month, I genuinely have no idea how I did. I don't think that I successfully completed my Becca's Bookoplathon TBR. I think that I needed to read the Saga Volume 3 in order to complete that one. And I definitely could have, you know, if I cared enough. But October was my first full month of being back on night shift again, and it's been very, very difficult. So I decided to be kind to myself and just let myself, you know, enjoy what I was reading and not really focus on the readathons. But I do think that I successfully completed the Aurelium TBR, or at least, you know, past this month, read at least the ones that I needed to read. Because to my knowledge, you only had to complete 2 prompts, I think. So I definitely did that. So I think that we're good there. But yes, so I think that that's all I have for you today. Once again, I'd like to personally, oh my god, thank you to Book of the Month for sponsoring this video. It has been a dream of mine to work with you guys. So getting your email made my day, made my little heart so happy. So again, thank you guys to watching and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still watching, then just leave the book stack emoji down below in the comments. And again, don't forget that my link is below to use the code BOO at checkout at Book of the Month to get your first box for $9.99. And of course, you can always add on additional books for a very low cost, especially for the high quality tier of books that you're getting. So again, that's it. Don't forget to subscribe down below, like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.